Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Andy. My channel is Finding Value. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have, leave comments. Let me know what you guys like, dislike, or if you want me to do other videos. We've had a lot of people ask me, what's my opinion on uranium and should I be still cost averaging it? Well, let's get into what my opinion is. So, I call this the uranium situation. So, would I buy right now? Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm only stating what I am doing and my opinions in this. So, yes, I would buy. That's me. Valuations are still ridiculously cheap. Market conditions just turn right for these investments. I think this is the beginning of the beginning. Cost average into the investments. And I'm going to take a look at technical chart patterns and why I would buy. So let's take a look. Here's NXE, Next Gen Energy. Now, if you look at this chart pattern, we've got this channel that's been going up, right? Broke to the upside. Remember, I like buying on the breakouts at the top of these patterns. We're at the top of this pattern right here. Of course this looks good, especially if you got a bullish, this looks like a little bullish engulfing almost or something. And the volume's kicking in. Yeah, I think Next Gen looks great. I would buy it if it were me. I like it. ISO Energy, see how it broke to the upside of this gigantic, this is a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder? I would be buying up here. This looks like it's putting in a flag pattern or something. I like it. I like ISO. Here's Camco. If you draw a line across right here, it's back testing that line. Again, you got the volume kicking up. Everything looks good. There's nothing to worry about here. I would be a buyer. Now here's Deep Yellow. Deep Yellow right now, I just drew this in. This looks like a cup. And maybe it'll come down a little bit for a handle, or maybe it just breaks through this this resistance here. But we're putting in bottoms here. We're not topping out or anything, and I don't think we're going to have this humongous pullback. And even if you have a 10 or 20% pullback, you cost average in. That's a way to protect the downside. It's to reduce risk. So this one looks really good as well. This is Deep Yellow. I like it. I would be a buyer. Now here's UU. Just to look at it from a different perspective, you've got, and there's a couple of things I want to point out here. It looks like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Now notice how this thing really jetted up quick. It almost acted like this big down day because there wasn't much resistance through here. It just boom, 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 straight up. Now we're hitting this resistance here. There's a lot of sellers up here. See all this, the time it hit this chart many times. It's going to have to, those sellers are going to have to bleed off, then the buyers can push this thing higher. The volume stepping in, there's a lot of big volume here. So yeah, I would be perfectly fine cost averaging into UU if that's what you like. I don't have any problems with it. Here's UR Energy, same thing. See how we broke this big pattern here? Came up, maybe it'll back test it, maybe it'll hang out here. But again, I think it's gonna, path of least resistance is higher. We've got a bunch of volume kicking in. So even if this thing goes sideways or down just a little bit, I don't think it's going to come back below that support level, that line I have drawn across here. So I think we've got good support. And here's Encore. I know I get a lot of questions about Encore. So the one thing I want to make a statement here, I kind of drew some lines across. This up move here is going to mimic the up move here, if you notice. See this up move and this down move? Then we've got this kind of like up move. It's probably going to come up here. It's probably going to mimic this move right here. See how it's almost doing a reverse pattern? See how it's kind of the steepness here is similar to the steepness here? And then we're going to kind of pop up higher. It's not going to be exactly the same, but I'm just saying it may do something like this where we come up, we kind of come back, and then we're going to go higher like boom. It could do that same type of pattern. Possibly, maybe not. But usually the upside kind of mirrors the downside and where those resistance and support levels are. So keep in mind, uranium is dirt cheap. These companies just started moving. When you look back 5 or 10 years from now, you're going to be like, man, I should have bought as much as I possibly could at this time. That's probably going to be a scenario where you just said, I should have bought more. Now, would that 5 or 10 cent difference now make a big deal? Maybe, because that is a large percentage term in terms of 63 cents. It's 6% on 3.5 cents there. So, it would affect your share count quite a bit. So the way that I would play it is cost average in, spread your buy points, and try to use technical analysis to best time your purchases. That's all you can do. No one knows the exact future and how this is all going to play out. No one knows what's going to affect these investments in the near or short, the short term, or even the somewhat short to medium term. So my take on it is it's still cheap. I would cost average in to reduce risk, and everything looks very good. This is Finding Value. Appreciate you guys listening. Thank you.